Once again, we are revisiting aggregate, binary operation, and broadcasting function in Python Panda. Let's see the program once in order to clear our doubts and the practical implementation of the same. Let's see that. Well, students, today we'll discuss the Boolean reduction and the descriptive statistics with pandas. All right. So now in the Boolean reduction, we can apply reductions with empty, any, all to provide a way to summarize a Boolean result. The all is used to check if all or any item is non-zero, non-empty, or not false. Let us discuss with the help of a practical implementation of the same. Okay. So this is the one actually. So how you see out here it is given true and true, here it is also true, false and false. So what does the empty says? This is an empty data frame. It will not show, you no need to give the empty command with this. This empty data frame will be printed as it has been given in the remark. Now next there is a data series which have been created as data frame, and we are printing out here df.all. Now all what it says is returns true if all the elements in the series or in a data frame access are non-zero, not empty, or not false. So if we check its output, then you will be able to see. Uh, Check out here. Let the output to be generated. Okay, now the output has been generated. Now you see it out here. What does it? What does it do? See, this is an empty data frame, so the column index nothing is there. Now x is given true, means both of them true are true, then true. Then if one of them is false, then it will return here false. Okay, clear? So if it returns, so what does it all returns? It returns true if all the elements in the series or in a data frame axis are non-zero, not empty, or not false. Okay, so they are false, that's why it has returned false. But any is unlike the all. As the name suggests, it performs an or operation, means either of the one. If any of the values along the specified axis is true, it will return true. So as it is returning true out here, you can see, and then the last one is false. So it is returning altogether a data type value. So this is a kind of reduction, you can say. Okay, so this is what a panda reduction. So with the help of all and any and empty is also there, we can do the Boolean reduction. Okay, Python Panda has the ability to manipulate some statistical data and calculate results of various statistical operations. Okay, and the statistical methods helps us in understanding and analyzing the behavior of data, means how the data is functioning. So one of the important method is data aggregation. Aggregation, you can say that suppose you have getting in your report cards, right? There are 5 marks altogether, whatever value is coming, whatever the average is coming, what is the maximum value, what is the minimum value that has been that can be printed, that can be given. All right. So now the thing is that, so in practical implementation, if we see of this ones, then you will be able to understand. Here a list has been taken: Ajay, Binay, Sania, Deep, Radhika, Shaurya, Noni, Bobby, and all, and their age has been taken as well, and their score also has been taken. So here I have used two methods. One is max, another is min. Max means it returns the maximum value of the specified data frame, sorry, specified column, and min is returning the minimum value of the column. Okay, minimum value of the column. Now you see, when I am exactly executing the program, okay, so what the output is generated here, you see out here. So sorry, I'll just do it on a clean screen. So none, and then the module I'm doing out here, you see out here how it is functioning. Okay, okay, here you see the maximum value. It is easy to understand. Maximum value in the score is 26. 26, and L is the data type, don't bother about it. 26 is the maximum age, and 89 is the maximum value in the score. Okay, and why the Vinay? Because the Vinay has come, because this gives the Vinay is actually, as it will compare each name of the data frame on the basis of the ASCII code, since the character V has the highest ASCII value, because it starts with the capital A 65 and ends at 90. So V is having the highest value, so that's why the output is so obtained. And here you see the A is having the least value, that's why the Ajay, and the minimum age is 22, and the minimum score will be 31. So here's little a bit mistake is there, so we can change it out here by typing here minimum score, 4. So then finally we can execute the program to get the output once more. Okay, so it has come now. You see out here the output has been generated as score. Okay, out here. Okay, so minimum score is 33 and minimum age is 22. So these are the aggregate functions of. Okay, now next what we are doing actually, the binary operations on data frame. Okay, two data frames I mean. So now you see out here this program, so binary operations on two data frames. This one we will discuss in the class, and you can watch the video also in order to understand it better. Okay, so this is an interaction between you and this is an interaction between you and me in this way. Okay, so binary operations on two data frames, import pandas as PD as well, that we have to give. One thing I want to remind out here, that instead of PD you can take anything. Okay, any identifier you can take, but it must start with an alphabet as per the rules of the creation of identifier. Okay, so no blank spaces and special character to be used out here, better to stick to the alphabets only. So we are creating again data frame from dictionary. Okay, so you can see few data has been taken, test1 and test2 are the two levels out here, means two columns. We have taken two data frame object out here. One is ds, another is ds1. Okay, converting the dictionary into data frame object. Fine. Okay, so created. Now you see what is the meaning of this one. Okay, sub, r sub, add and r add, all these things, multiplication and divisions. Fine. So this is called, actually this is the binary addition. All right, this is the binary addition. Now what it will do, see, the any kind of operations can be done out here. Okay, like addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, you can see the methods have been taken. But what is r add and what is the r sub? This is actually the functions r sub and r stand for the right side subtraction and right side addition. The r sub function subtract each element in a data frame with the corresponding element in the other data frame. So r add function adds each element in a data frame with the corresponding element in the other data frame. Fine. So now the things, once we are executing this program, we will be able to understand it. Fine. Okay, so I'm executing this one. Okay, now you see out there the output will be generated in a short while. Yes, the output has been generated. Now you see out here, first two things you can see out here, two data frames have been printed with the test levels and all whatsoever. Now you see the subtraction. Normal the subtraction has taken place out here. So it is actually what the normal subtraction, 5 minus 3 to 6 minus 3, in this way this has been taken. So the output has come to 3 to 3 minus 3 as well and all. Now you watch out this r sub one, which is very very important. R sub, how it has been taken, you see the test1 and test2. Okay, so 3 minus 5, how much it is? Minus 2. 3 minus 6, it is minus 3. Okay, and then 6 minus 8, it is minus 2. And 6 minus 8, it is minus 2. Yes, and then 6 minus 3 is 3, and then 8 minus 10 is what? 2. You watch it here, out here, you can understand better. Minus 3, instead of minus 3 it is plus 3. Okay, why? Because it is 6 minus the right side, means the student one is the right side we are talking about. Okay, and this is the way the addition also is the same thing. You can see the 5 plus 3 8, 6 plus 3 9, 8 plus 6, all these things have taken place out here. And similarly here is no such difference, you will be able to understand, because both the things are, both the additions are doing the same thing, and there are no armal or and our div like that function. So it is directly has been taken mul and div. Okay, so you can see the division out here, it has come in the decimal, because 3 has been divided by 5, 3 has been divided by 6 as well, that's why you can see out here. Okay, and 6 divided by 3, it is 2, and in that way the division has taken place. And you can see out here 5 is a 15, 6 is a 18, in this way. Okay, so the output has been generated. Only the thing is that you have to understand the subtraction, that is from the right hand side. 3 minus 5, 3 minus 6, 6 minus 8, 6 minus 3, 8 minus 10, and the same thing has been happened out here. This is the binary operation on two data frames over here. Okay, so the thing is that once you are getting the explanation from me, you should also see how the things are working in your system. You also practice in your system, and if any query, if you need to clarify or further clarification is required, you can ask me so via WhatsApp or via you can post it in the comment section of the Google Classroom. Okay, so that's all. So please try it out, okay, and get it nicely done. Okay, fine. Okay, this is the binary operation on to data frame. Thank you. Broadcasting operation in pandas. The term broadcasting comes from NumPy. Simply, it is actually to output the results when we perform the operations between n-dimensional arrays, could be data frame or series or scalar values. It is actually the method applied by the pandas while dealing with arrays or different shapes while performing arithmetic operations. In this method, usually the smaller array is broadcasted across the larger array so that they have compatible shapes. So you can see the programs out here. Now we will see its implementation in Python. So first of all, we have to open the file. I have written already the file for you. Okay, so I'm opening this one. That is the pandas broadcasting. I'll open it. Just a minute. Panda broadcast one. This file. You see out here the output once. So the run. I'm doing the running execution. Okay, you can see out here. So this is the output actually with the Panda broadcast. Okay, so that is the thing. So you see out here, this output actually has been generated out here. So and you can see it out here. This is the previous output. I'm doing it fresh for you. Just a minute. You watch it carefully. Run and then do run module, and then you see out here the output to be generated. Now it has come. You can see out here. So the df1 and df2, both the arrays have been printed, and they are the broadcasting stars actually. You can see out here. Okay, 2 plus 5, it is giving you 7. 5 plus 8, it is giving you 13. This is a broadcasting an arithmetic addition operation. And here what is happening, a scalar value has been added out here. A scalar value 50 has been added with each value of df1. So thereby getting the output 50 plus 2, 52. 50 plus 5, 55, 50 plus 6, 56, and so on. So this is a kind of broadcasting the values, okay, in the data frame. Now another kind of broadcasting is also possible, but this time we will do with the a single 1D array. Okay. Now see broadcast. Just a minute. Broadcast 2. This one. Okay. Now you see out here, so I'll execute this program. This is just the operation has been done in a single dimensional array. Out here, you watch the output out here. You see out here, each value has been added with 10, 50, and 100 of this one. So 10 plus 2 has been become 12, and 50 plus 5 is 55, and 100 plus 6 is 106. And as well, the second series also has been added with these particular values. So in this way, we can do the things. We can do the broadcasting operations as well. Now, apart from this broadcasting, sometimes what happens that so the values are not there in the array. Okay, values are not there in the array, and we have to see the things right now. Just a minute. Okay, still go once. Okay, now you see the outputs are all given in the attachments and all. This is the 1D array, and the missing and filling the values. Okay, missing data and filling the values. So this is missing data and filling the values. The values with no computational significance are called missing values. In this case, what is happening, the total array will be filled with the total array to be filled with the nan. Nan means not a number. And afterwards, if you want to fill those nan values with 0 and or some other values, you can use the fill na function. So we will see one of its implementation once here. Just let me open once this one. So you will open this file and new file as well, or in the recent file if it is there, then definitely I will show you. Yes, filna is there. Okay, fine. So this is the program. You see out here, filna command has been we have applied here the filna command, and the filna and the filling is also has been done by in the first column and the second column on the array. Fine. It is not compulsory that you have to use all the time with 0. You can fill it with other values also. Now you see out here the output. Once you watch the output, you will be able to understand. See here all the values are there: 2, 5, 6, 7, 8. Here also the 8 is also there, 10 and 4 is also there, 5, 8, 9. So some values are missing. So all the places the missing values have been assigned with NaN, and the Filna has filled them up with 0, 0, 0, 0 and all. And in this command, Filna has filled with specific columns with -10 and -5, which can be viewable out here only. So this is the way this is the use of Filna command whenever you want to fill it up with some specific value. If you don't mention, it will be 0. Otherwise, it will be filled with the specific value in the red color. Now in the second part, some more commands you will see in Python Panda. Okay. Now you see the second part of this that you see I have given the attachment also. You can see the output when the output images also you can to verify the output also. Replacing the constant value column wise that I have already had shown you this one in my previous video. That's you can watch it out there also. And each of the programs to be implemented practically. Now the interpolate value, what is happening in this case? This is very interesting, you know. This is in this missing values by copying the value from above adjacent cell using the following method. That is df. Df means it is a data frame object and fill now, and then in the bracket you have to give an attribute that is method equals to ffill. Okay, so this particular program we will see the its output once. Let me open it once for you. So I will open it right now, file, and then go to the recent file. Here I use a command called filna. Yes, here it is. Okay, there is no, I mean it is not interpolate actually. The file name also will be like that. Interpolate, yes, interpolate.py. You know, .py is the extension for any Python program. Okay, whatever you do, that will be saved with py. Here you are having the scope to uh, fill your all programs in your own folder. Like I am opening it from a folder called numpy programs. Okay, so normally if you do Python XY, then there is an XY default folder is there. If you don't wish to do so, you can do it also your folder. Okay, that is the numpy programs. I have saved all my programs out here, so it will be easy to find out from here actually. Now I am executing this program with the interpolate values. Interpolate, what it does, it is actually copying the value from the above adjacent cell using the following method, that is df.fillna method ffill, that you can see out here. This is the command is responsible for copying the values from the just above immediate above cell. Okay, immediate above the cell which is immediate above. Okay, now you see, watch out here. Okay, the output, yes, so the output will be appearing. Yes, here you see out here nan wherever you have not mentioned 5 values, here only one value, so 8. Rest of the 5 values will be null. I mean nan, not a number, and 10 4 is here, then rest 3, and here 5 8 9 will be here, and then nan. Okay, so no values have been assigned out here. So these are not like actually these are uneven array, you can say. Okay, so here the PDF data frame PDF normal has been printed. Now say interpolation has taken place out here, that is print df dot fillna method ffill has been applied out here. You see here, where is the nan out there? Here 5 is here, and then 5 has come over here, and 6 is here, and 6 is come over here, 7 is here, 7 has been copied, 8 has been copied as well, and 6 7 8 as well, and 7 8 has been copied. So wherever the nan was there, okay, everywhere the value have been filled. Okay, and the values have been copied from where? From the just above column. The column which is just above, the same value has been copied. If you follow the output, you can understand it more clear. Okay, so I would like to suggest you to do the programs practically for a better understanding. And this kind of programs are very important. Whenever some certain code will be given to you, fragment of the code will be given to you, and you have to generate the output. So there are many types of many types of uses are there of this one. Okay. So that is the thing. So we have seen the output very nicely out here. So in the previous one also I have explained, and in this video also I have explained you. So my suggestion is that to implement it properly, I mean. Okay, so that is the thing. So you can change the values in the arrays, and you can see the changes, how the changes has taken place. Okay, And other thing also, if you want to take one more array, how the changes have been taken place, all these things you can experiment, okay, because you are having the time now to experiment and do your practical. I'll rather stress on the practical job. So it should be, it should be done, okay. So if you don't have the software, you download it. A link had already sent to you via WhatsApp group. You can find out. And otherwise, you go to Python.org, python.org to download Python XY. So everything, if you download it, I think it will work. Okay, there will be no problem. So thank you for the things. Okay.